Welcome to Quick Bite, your fast and friendly Florida insurance update.
Hello. This is Roshonda, agency owner of the ISOM Insurance Group here in the Sunshine State of Florida, back again with another Quick Bite episode, your fast and informative insurance market update. Today is Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026, Hump Day. And it's Fraud Busting Wednesday. If you have been watching the series, you know we have covered some large scale fraud cases recently. But today's case is different. It is a smaller dollar amount compared to the 233 million ACA case we discussed last week. However, its impact on commercial auto insurance rates and road safety in Florida is significant. We are talking about the South Florida towing shadow fleet fraud case announced in mid February by CFO Blasio Inaglio and the Department of Financial Services. Case is about unlicensed activity, fake commercial policies, and how cutting corners can affect every driver on the road. Let's break it down. In early February, two individuals were arrested in Miami-Dade County. One was Javier Gonzalez Jr., a licensed insurance agent. The other was Aliba Lamas Alvarez, an unlicensed individual. According to investigators, the two allegedly sold 24 fraudulent commercial policies to tow truck operators. Now, let me pause here. 24 policies may sound like hundreds. It may not sound like hundreds. It may not sound like millions, but in the commercial auto world, especially towing, that is serious. Towing is already considered one of the highest risk commercial auto classes in Florida. These trucks are on the highway, they respond to accidents, they load damaged vehicles, they operate in high speed environments. The exposure is enormous. The alleged method was simple but dangerous. Policies were issued using falsified or inaccurate information. Fleet sizes were misrepresented. Coverage limits were stripped down. State mandated insurance requirements were bypassed. In other words, the policies looked legitimate on paper, but they were functionally worthless if a major accident occurred. And here's the most important part. The small business tow truck owners believed they were properly insured. They thought they were compliant with state requirements. They thought they were protected until they weren't. Let me explain why this matters so much. Commercial auto for towing is expensive for a reason. Claims involving tow trucks often involve multiple vehicles, injuries, high repair costs, litigation, sometimes very large settlements. When someone sells discounted policies by stripping required coverage, they are not being innovative. They are shifting risks onto everyone else. If a tow truck with fake insurance causes a catastrophic accident, victims may end up relying on their own uninsured motorist coverage. That increases pressure on legitimate insurers, which ultimately impacts rates for everyone. This is how fraud ripples outward. One of the biggest themes of this case is unlicensed activity. Alvarez was not licensed, yet allegedly operated under the umbrella of a licensed agent. This is exactly why Florida is pushing stronger agent accountability measures this session. Licensing exists for a reason. It requires education, it requires background checks, it requires ongoing continued education. When unlicensed individuals operate in the shadows, consumers are exposed and legitimate agents are undermined. This case was part of February fraud sweep conducted by the DFS Criminal Investigation Division. CFO Inaglio has been vocal about cracking down on unlicensed activity, and he made a public reminder to business owners: verify your agent's license through the DFS portal before paying premiums. That is not just good advice, that is essential. Imagine this scenario. A tow truck operator believes they have 1 million in liability coverage. They are dispatched to a highway accident. During the recovery process, another vehicle collides with the scene. Multiple injuries occur. Lawsuits follow. And then the operator learns their policy was not compliant. That is not just a paperwork issue. That is bankruptcy level exposure. That risk does not stay contained. It spreads to injured parties, to insurers, and to rate pools. Commercial auto is already one of the toughest lines in Florida. Rates in many sectors have been increasing due to rising repair costs, nuclear verdicts, and vehicle technology expenses. When fraudulent or underinsured operators are on the road, legitimate carriers factor that into underwriting. That means higher premiums for honest business owners. So while this case involves 24 policies, its signals effect is larger. It tells carriers that enforcement gaps exist, and when enforcement gaps exist, pricing increases. There is no such thing as a discount that bypasses legal requirements and still works in a courtroom. That is not a discount. That is a delay before disaster. If someone offers a commercial auto policy that sounds dramatically cheaper than every other quote, there is a reason. Exactly. There is a reason. And usually it's not a good one. If you are a business owner watching this episode, here's what matters. Verify your agent's license. Ask for copies of the policy declarations. Confirm coverage limits meet state requirements. Understand what you are buying. Commercial policies are not impulse purchases. They protect your livelihood and they protect your business. For everyday drivers, this case highlights why uninsured motorist coverage is important, not because fraud is everywhere, but because gaps exist. When a commercial vehicle is improperly insured, it increases exposure for everyone sharing the road. This case also reinforces why the 2026 legislative session includes increased focus on agent accountability and continual education. The new law and ethics requirement are not random. They are designed to reduce knowledge gaps and close compliance loopholes. Fraud prevention is not just about arrest, it is about structure. The South Florida towing shadow fleet case may not have a 9-digit dollar figure attached to it, but it represents something equally important: system integrity, road safety, consumer protection. When fraudulent commercial policies are sold, the cost is not just financial, it is operational, it is legal, and it is personal. If today's Fraud Busting Wednesday episode helped you understand how unlicensed activity impacts commercial auto rates and road safety, now's a great time to review your own policy. If you would like to verify coverage or request a quote, please visit our website at isomInsuranceGroup.com, or as always, it's below me on the screen. Preparation always beats regret. If you found this episode helpful, please like the video, share it with your friends or family members or even your enemies, and drop a comment below with any topics you would like for me to cover in any upcoming videos. And please, 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 please subscribe to the channel. That way you will know when a new episode drops. But just for scheduling purposes, Quick Bite episodes drop Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And remember, this video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, tax, or specific insurance advice. Please consult a licensed insurance professional about your unique situation. This is Roshonda with the ISOM Insurance Group here in sunny Florida. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Please stay safe out there. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at isomInsuranceGroup.com.